What a great picture of me. Jesus. What a pig. That was before I lost about almost 50 pounds last year.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you. Gee, you look great, Larry. Thank you. So anyway.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, this is going to be an awesome show. So excited to talk to an amazing guest. But before we get into him with us today, we have James. How's it going, sir?
Doing well. How's it going, everybody?
Doing fine. Steven.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully everyone is staying safe.
As always. Patsy.
I am awesomely outrageous, and I am very excited for today's guest.
Very excited. James, who are we talking with today?
Oh, wow. You put me on the spot 100%. Well, if he is a Saturday morning cartoon staple. He is the leader of the Thundercats. Lionel, Mr. Larry Kenney, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
Doing awesome.
Just fine. Thank you. I'm happy
Very
to be
excited.
here talking with you. Of course, at my age, I'm happy to be anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Well, we're very excited to have you here.
Thank you, guys. Nice to be here.
Yeah, we were talking prior to the show. I first met you at Terrificon, and I have to say you definitely one of the nicest people that we've met. You took time, out of your busy schedule to talk to us at the con. You signed some awesome stuff for us, and it's just it's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a great con, terrific con in Los Angeles, actually in Torrance, wasn't it?
Mohegan Sun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Terrificon. Yeah. I was thinking of PowerCon.
But there's so many. There's so many now, and I'm sure you go to a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, but none like Terrificon. I don't know why I mixed that up because that's my favorite one, I have to say. Well, I live about an hour and a half from there. Yeah. But it's also run so well, Mitch and the whole gang up there. But yeah, I now I remember it was because you're in Connecticut too, right?
Yep. Yeah, just a couple minutes away from Mohegan Sun.
Good.
Yeah.
It's one of those obligated stops when I go down to get Krispy Kreme donuts. I have to stop and see Leo.
So you're pretty much broke most of the time, are you?
Basically, yeah.
I'm
That'll
from
do it.
Mohegan Sun. not from the donut side. From Mohegan Sun.
No.
So you have an illustrious career, and if anybody growing up in the 80s and 90s obviously knows who you are, but there are some characters that may not be as well known as well. Would you like to go over some of the characters that you portrayed?
Oh, sure. Quite a few. I've been at this for almost 60 years, since I was 15 years old. Yeah, it sounds like a long time ago, doesn't it? Well, Lion, of course, I think most people, from your audience probably remember me as Lion-O on Thundercats. And then I played Claudius on the 2011 Thundercats and played Jaga on the latest Thundercats Roar, which I would understand if you say you don't want to talk about that. Then I was in a show called Silverhawks, where I played Bluegrass. And then we did other things too, with Rankin Bass. Did a bunch of holiday specials, animated specials with Rankin Bass. And let's see, other characters. Oh, well, the characters, of course. I've been the voice of Sonny the Cocoa Puffs bird for almost 40 years. And for about the same amount of time, the voice of Count Chocula on the Count Chocula cereal, frightfully delicious. You should try it. So characters, I've done a lot of characters on video games and commercials, but I think those are the ones people probably remember the most from.
It's funny, like what James said, about, you being a staple of Saturday morning cartoons, not just the shows, but the commercials in between.
Yeah.
You were
Did
just
a lot of, yeah.
I was gonna say you were just inescapable. You were everywhere,
You couldn't get away from me, right?
which is great for you because obviously.
Yeah. I was, of course, those characters. Although that was mostly voiceover, yeah, I did back in the 80s, especially. I did literally tens of thousands of commercials. G.I. Joe. What was that one with the dummies? The test dummies, crash test
Dummies.
And then for Milton Bradley, I was almost constantly on the air for things like Hungry Hippos and Operation, the games, all those games, Yeah, I've been around quite a while.
That's pretty awesome.
And we just real quick, we found out, speaking of commercials, when you were with the Still Token with the guys, you're also the Skittles guy.
Yeah, that's another great account I've had. It's very rare in this business, the voiceover business, that you are the spokesman for a particular product for a long, long time. And certainly 40 years is maybe a record for Count Chocula and Sonny the Cocoa Puffs bird. But Skittles, I just realized the other day, it's been, I think, 22 years that I've been the guy who at the end of every commercial says, "Feel the rainbow, taste the rainbow." It's something different every time. It's the greatest gig I ever had because it's always something the rainbow, taste the rainbow. So we only do one new word every time I go in the studio.
So do you just record the one word and they just slice it in, or?
No, we do. They make me do the whole thing 3 or 4
Oh
times.
man.
Right? God, I'm there. It's sometimes 10 minutes.
Well, you
charge
them by the word, right?
Well, I did tell them one time many years ago, I said, "It looks like this is going to be a long running thing. That's great. Why don't you just book me for an entire day or two and we'll record every verb in the English language? Then you can just," they said, "No, can't do that."
You were going to say, James?
Yeah. So we're chatting and my question is, when you auditioned for like the role of like in Thundercats for Lionel,
Yeah.
was it something like when you got it and you're in the studio with these other actors and actresses doing this? Do you guys look at some of this being like, what exactly am I? I'm a talking cat, and then it kind of like, was there hesitation off the bat, and then you just saw explode? Were you surprised how quickly that show kind of took off and resonated with kids?
Yeah. Well, we weren't surprised. Let me say that, because early on, and pardon me, guys.
I think you're still muted.
What I said you couldn't put on here. I said, pardon my voice. I caught a cold shoveling snow yesterday. Can you imagine? 126 years old, and I'm shoveling snow.
Well, you look
now
great.
I sound like George Burns. Anyway, what was the question? Thundercats. Yeah. We knew early on, meaning after a couple months of recording, that we had all the elements there. I mean, the scripts were great, the animation, fantastic, the music. I mean, we were all blown away. Like I think a lot of people were the first time they saw Thundercats when that heavy metal music came on. Very unusual for cartoon shows, And then we knew we had some of the greatest actors and everything. We knew everything was, really good. So we had the possibility of making, of it being a hit. But you never know in this business, I mean, you can have all those elements, and for whatever reason, there are other forces at work, such forces as whether the network that's playing it promotes it, and what time they put it on the air, all those kind of things. So we knew early on, we were saying to each other, this show could go, And I'll tell you, if you don't mind my rambling here, the first time I really knew it was a big hit, I was in Toys R Us. Remember Toys R Us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks before Christmas one year, and Christmas shopping. And the last time I had been to that store was probably a few months before that. But this time I walked in, and there were 3 aisles, shelves on both sides of 3 aisles full of nothing but Thundercats stuff. Where before there had been, one aisle Thundercats, one aisle of Ninja Turtles, He-Man, whatever. So when I saw that, I said to myself, this show is a hit. It's going to be around for a while, But again, who would have thought that 35 years later, we'd be sitting here talking about that? And of course, without the internet, we wouldn't be, for lots of reasons. But I hope that answered your question. We were never sure. We know we've got a hit, but we knew we had all the makings of it if everything else came together in the cosmos.
And I mean, too, you've been part of every reincarnation of the show, the reboot, like you said, early in the 2000s, and even the Thundercats roar. Is it, I mean, it's comforting to know that you're still like the shepherd of the show. It seems like you're kind of you're bringing it to the next generation. Does that, how does that make you feel at the end of the day, being like they keep, they keep calling you for a different role, but you're playing different characters than just line up?
Yeah. Well, I look at it. I think it's a wonderful thing because I believe that in both cases, the 2011 remake and the recent Thundercats Roar, I think hiring me for those was an homage, not just to me, of course, but to the show, the original show itself, to the fans of the show. Because I recall when we did the 2011 version of Thundercats, which I thought was a great series. I was really surprised when it ended. But again, we talked about, there's outside forces, like if you don't promote it enough. But I thought they were all great. And I remember that when I first did the 2011 one, I went out to LA to Warner Brothers and met all the the people from Warner Brothers who had worked on the show. And there were all these young guys and gals who were tremendous Thundercats fans, I guess in the back of my mind, I kind of thought, wow, it's going to be these new young people, you know, in the business. Some of them who may not even remember Thundercats or whatever. But it was a total opposite. It was, I mean, they just treated me like royalty, and I realized though that the hiring me to do that was an homage to a little tip of the hat to the fans of the original series. You know, saying, hey, we remember the series and what it's supposed to be like, and in fact. One of the guys who ran the whole thing out there and was the head writer, and I can't remember his name now. I feel terrible. He kept telling me how much. He said, you know, we are so true. We all believe in the Code of Thundera, you know, and that made it that made it great for me to work with them, you know. Yeah.
If you don't mind, I have a question.
Oh, go for it, Stephen.
It's so obviously we all know you're famous for your voice work, but my question for you is your radio career. Did you when you started in radio as a disc jockey, did you think that you were going to evolve into going into voice work, or did you want to did you want to do radio, or did you want to do voice work at all, or did it just?
That's a great question. I actually didn't have to choose, because when I was doing radio as a disc jockey, I started when I was 15 years old, and I had done voices all my life. At 15, all my life. My mother says that from the time I could talk, I was, pardon me, impersonating, you know, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all those things. Anything I would hear on the television, she said I would spit back out, and she said we couldn't believe it. He sounded like him, you know. So when I started doing radio, I incorporated that into my disc jockey show. You know, I would play a Beatles record and then maybe do a little comedy bit using the voice of somebody, you know. So that's so I didn't have to choose between doing radio or doing voices. I got lucky, and it just all came together. And then, of course, when I got to Chicago and then New York, that translated into commercials, and then into animated shows, and now it's even gone into. I've been doing a lot of video games, which is another whole dimension. Yeah,
That's awesome.
He was in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
J.P.
I saw
Cripps.
that.
My
And L.A.
character's name.
Noir.
I'm sorry.
And L.A. Noir.
L.A. Noir. I was in that. You're right. There were several. Mafia 2.
Yep.
There's a thing called Alan Wake, which was a kind of interesting intellectual type thing. I really enjoy them. When the ones where I'm not on camera, my character's not, you know, like some of them I've been a guy on the radio, you know, just the voice. And that's just like doing a commercial. You know, you go into a booth and you record your voice. But this Red Dead Redemption thing was a whole new world for me. It was, are you guys familiar with mocap?
Yes.
Motion capture?
Yeah.
I think people are now today because of Avatar and movies like that. But
Andy Serkis.
Yeah. So I was, I knew it wasn't going to be the same as recording just the voice in a studio, but I had no idea what it involved, and it's incredible. You arrive at the studio, which is, by the way, on Long Island, an old airplane hangar, and a place where they built some of the rockets that we sent to the moon. Rockstar Games, who produced and developed the show, bought this building, this actual hangar, which is like 150 feet high and 3 football fields long, and that's the set. That's the stage, if you will. So you get there. You mind if I go through all this? Because
Go
ahead.
Go for it. Okay. It's a lot more neat. It's a lot neater to see than to hear me talk about it, but I'll try to vivify it as much as I can. When you first get there, they take you into this room and they dress you in a full body suit, black, It's not latex, but it's something like that. You know, kind of a tight fitting
Lycra.
Lycra. That's it. Good. Gee, you guys are smart. and gloves, big heavy boots, like cowboy boots, all of which have these little sensors all over them. There's no wires hooked to them, but those are to, well, I'll explain it in order. So you get that on and you wear a helmet that has a pipe coming up this way and then out and then down, so that the camera that's filming you and the light is right in front of you the whole time you're acting, which is a whole weird deal. I'm telling you, you're walking around doing all the motions with this light and camera this far away from you. You get used to it after, a while. But so you get dressed in this thing, and then you go into another little studio where you're under an arc with like hundreds of cameras, and this guy takes you through this thing. He says, "Okay, open your mouth as wide as you can. Frown, smile, bigger. Move your left arm." What's happening is the computers are capturing your body movements in every part of your body, so that your character, like when I watch the video game, or even when I looked up on the monitors as we were filming, I can see my character moving as me, the way I walk. It's actually me walking, but the character is in costume. His face is there and not mine. If I wave to him, he waves back at me. It's the freakiest damn thing you ever saw. It was for me anyway. But that was the there's no furniture or scenery. They're just these little things that imply, like if it's supposed to be a horse, they'll have a barrel, 50-gallon barrel on 4 2x4s, and put a saddle on it and literally take a mop and attach it to the back for a tail. On the screen, when you see the game, there was one episode where I got to I got to climb onto a horse and ride off. And it was just me climbing up on that barrel. But in the game, you know how realistic that game is, or any of these video games today. It just blew my mind. I kept waving to myself all day long.
Billy wants to know, Larry, do you think there will ever be a live Thundercats movie?
Gosh, I don't know. They've been talking about that for years. I remember about 15, maybe 20 years ago, somebody on the internet, put what looked like it was a very realistic movie trailer. You guys ever see that? With the face of Brad Pitt. Yeah. It fooled me. I thought they were going to actually doing it then, and that had to be somebody's. I've always thought that had to be somebody's final exam for their film school, test. You know what I'm saying? Who would put all that money into something like that when they're not going to get anything out of it? So I don't know how that came about. But there have been rumors over the years that there's going to be a Thundercats live movie. As a matter of fact, Warner Brothers actually first announced in 2010 that they were going to do a full-length movie, CGI, not life, real life. And they had even hired a director, I think, and a script writer. But then a few months later, they put that on the shelf and decided to do the then new 2011 Thundercats TV series. Now, whether they still have planned to do a movie, I don't know. If they do, I'm sure it would be live action with some big stars,
Well, like the new Transformers, there's a Transformers series on Netflix. It's all CGI, and they got voice actors that sound like the original, but not really the original. But you figure Warner Brothers, what Transformers does, it's really tied into the toy sales. They really got it nailed down more than what it was like the 80s. There's these special like Netflix Transformers toys that they market, sold specifically at Walmart, and then the new show comes out. I could see them doing a Thundercats CGI revival. If they did and they asked you, would you go back?
Oh, certainly, as long as I felt the script was conformed to. You see, I have a very strong feeling of affection and allegiance to the legend, not the legend. What's the word I'm looking for? The legacy of the original Thundercats. And because I'll tell you why, because I've received so many letters and emails, thousands over the years. Even before the internet, people would write me letters and saying things like, Thundercats saved my life, or I had a terrible childhood. And some of them would tell me to some degree what they meant. The rest of them I could imagine. And they said that, but when I would go into my room for 30 minutes watching Thundercats, that all went away. And so thank you for helping me get through a rough childhood. Well, you don't just blow that off, and no. It's because that makes it to me more than a television show. It makes it more than how much money they made on the toys and stuff like that. It's what it meant to people. And when they come to see me in Comic-Cons, I mean, my wife cries sometimes when people come up and start saying what the show meant to them, So I don't know if the actors on other shows have the good fortune to feel that way about their show, but I do about Thundercats.
Well, Thundercats was definitely a special show, and I know I loved it myself. I'm sure you guys did as well growing up.
Yeah.
I know we got a couple minutes left. Was there any other questions you had for Larry before we wrap things up?
I'd have to say, hearing that, what Larry just said about, his connection to the fans, as a fan, as someone who grew up watching the show, that means a lot, because you hear stories of celebrities and, voiceover talents, stuff like that, who do a role, get a paycheck and leave, and kind of, they don't kind of make it their own. Lionel is Larry. That is his character. He helped define it. Like he said, the homages that they keep bringing back to it mean a lot. And hearing those, it just shows that the connection that he does have with the fan, and the care and pride he has with the character. So again, like we don't see that a lot in actors and voice, actors nowadays. And so I just want to applaud you for still having that connection and that love for these characters. So, I mean, that's more of a statement than a question.
Thank you, Soup. I appreciate that. That's James. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Still funny.
No, I would have said the same thing. Same thing as James. So,
yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Very nice.
I do have a question, because you're very unbiased and could absolutely give a complete, truthful answer to this. He-Man versus Lion-O, who wins?
Do you really have to ask? I mean, have you seen He-Man lately? I mean, never had those great biceps and that chest. It's all down here now. It's all down. I think I've kept myself in pretty good shape. Lion-O and I are in pretty good shape. Who would win? Of course, that's asked all the time. There's lots of great, funny videos, on the internet. Some of them are, I think, taken off of the screen from the video games. That game where they fight each other and all that. I think they're very funny. Who would win? I don't know. It's I like to think that we're all in the same cartoon world, and we're all good friends in that world. And we only do this fighting and villainy for the show. Backstage, we're all there, having sandwiches and having a good time.
Yeah. You don't want to break kayfabe. I get you. I get it.
I don't want to say who would win. It would be a tie.
Fine.
It would be a tie. And
just everyone would have a good time. That's all.
And then there'd have to be a rematch, which is more geld for all of us.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely noble.
No, that's you got to eat.
You got to eat, man. That's right.
So I just have I have one other question, because you are an icon in voice acting, And anytime I get a chance to talk to somebody like you, I always want to pick your brain. I've talked to folks like, Charlie Adler, Maurice LaMarche, guys that I'm sure you're familiar with.
Sure.
So I have like a two-part question. One, who's somebody that you kind of idolized and looked up to and kind of wanted to maybe model yourself after? And two, what advice do you have for somebody who wants to get into voice acting?
Your first question, who did I idolize? Pardon me. I don't know, as a kid, I idolized anybody. And I don't mean that to be non-humble. I always kind of knew in the back of my mind, and I've never understood this myself, but as a small kid, I knew I was going to be in show business. I knew I was going to be doing that. Even as I got older and like in middle school, junior high school, I would watch Johnny Carson. And I mean, I didn't sit there and say to myself, even, you're going to be involved in it. It just like it felt to me that way. I knew it. And so I would watch things with a critical eye like that. I would watch it as somebody who's learning how to do it when my time comes. And I know it's the craziest thing. I don't know why I felt that way, but apparently I was right. So I didn't really idolize anybody, but I learned the most from, all the great people whose names I'm going to forget now because I'm tired and old.
I would think Mel Blanc would be somebody.
Mel Blanc, of course. Mel Blanc, yes. I tell people at Comic-Cons, sometimes they'll say something like, you probably think it's crazy. People stand in line and everything. I said, let me tell you something. When I was a kid, if I heard that Mel Blanc or Dawes Butler or Jay Ward or any of those people were in my town, going to be appearing, and anything, I would be there 3 days early with a lawn chair. I would have been there. So I tell them, I know how you feel, man. It took a while to get used to sitting at my table at Comic-Cons, and not everybody, of course, but once in a while somebody comes up and they're crying. And I say, what's the matter? And they say, I can't believe it. You're the voice of my childhood, and I can't. I know how they feel. It makes me feel unworthy, but I appreciate it and I love it. But I know how they feel, man. Yeah. Oh, the second part. Remind me what it was.
Any advice
for people to get into voiceover work? Yeah. Don't do it.
Stop taking jobs away from me.
Yeah, yes, of course. I'm not dead yet. I don't want some young punk to come in and be the new one.
Oh, that's amazing.
I have always told people over the years, and I've been in this a long time, take classes. But first of all, if you're still in school, and if you're somebody who's a young person in high school or even younger than that, but you want to do this, that was me too, So I tell them, take every speech course you can in school, public speaking, do plays, anything involving entertaining. And I tell them, if your school football team needs a public address announcer at the football games, do that. It all will come together, and it's all going to help in some way. But then I've always told them, if you're a little older than that and you're ready to get in the business, take classes. Google, now of course you can Google voiceover classes, voice acting or whatever, and then the nearest big city or the nearest town you're in. You'll be surprised, even in medium-sized towns, you'll see a list pop up of voice acting lessons, voice acting classes. So look at those. Most of them will be good ones. Will be 2-3 nights a week for a couple hours for a few months, something like that, And then look through the rest of what they're offering. Make sure that they guarantee you that when you leave the class, when you finish the class, you'll have a CD, we used to call them demo reels. They were tape reels, round. Now we call them demo CDs that the people teaching you will help you make. It's about a 2.5 minute tape. They'll help you edit and everything. That shows your range. What you can, if you do character voices, give them a good range of character voices. If you're a straight announcer, give them dramatic, then give them funny. But they will help you do that and make you sound professional at a good place. And also, you want a class where they're going to bring in people from the business once, one Wednesday, they might bring in a guy from an advertising agency who gives you his side of what they look for. They might bring in a well-known voice actor if there's one, but they give you a little networking in the business before you even start. You know what I mean? That's what I would look for. Now, beyond that, I know that with the advent of the internet and everything, especially in the last several years, you can go online and find people who will pay you to do voiceovers. Be very careful of that. Be very careful of that. There are some good ones, I'm sure, and people are online making some money. But there are also, as in anything else, there are also vultures out there. For our program, you give us $100, and then by the time after you've been there for a week, they need another $100. This and that. Be careful of that stuff. That's all I'm saying. I'm not that well versed with exactly how the bad ones work, but I do know they're out there. So just be careful.
Excellent.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Larry, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you this evening. I want to thank you so much for your time. And,
my pleasure.
And
I enjoyed it, man.
Where do you enjoy talking to your fans online?
Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, but I don't know how to work it. This damn thing, and calm down, Pop. And when, what was that? What's that new thing? Okay, Boomer. That phrase. Hey, when I was a kid. Okay, Boomer.
Well, you know what? I always tell folks that, if somebody that has a hard time with technology, from an older generation, I always say it's a generational thing. Plop a kid down in front of a rotary phone and tell him to call anyone that he knows.
Bingo. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that if I can find a rotary phone.
I'm sure there's still somebody paying the rental fee at AT&T somewhere that got one in a closet.
Hey guys, it was great. Thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you, Larry.
Take care. Have a great night.
You too. Good luck to all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Larry's awesome.
Yeah,
he's
that was
awesome.
great.
We have another surprise. Somebody's going to hop on in a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus.
It's Santa Claus.
is it Baby Yoda?
Yeah, Baby Yoda. I finally convinced him to come on.
Is it the owner of Reddit?
No.
We're all getting free stonks.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Doge though. Holy shit. Friggin' Robin Hood. Whenever Doge is like hopping up, they shut it off. Like it popped up to 8 cents the other night, and I logged on, and it's like transactions are suspended on Doge.
Well, if you already have 1,200 shares, then you just ride that wave.
Womp womp.
How many of you bought Doge? I know, Patsy, you did, right?
Yeah, I've got like 1,200 shares.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't exaggerating.
I got bills to pay.
Yeah, well, I bought it when it was like 0.04 of a cent. I have 1,200 shares, and it's like $85.
Okay, so when that whole GameStop chaos happened, like the weekend after me and Leo talked about it, like I think it was 2 weeks ago, I didn't have the $35 for one share, but AMC stock was down to like $8. So I bought like one share of AMC stock, then it tanked. I fucking sold. I was just like,
Yeah, I just got rid of my AMC too. Yes. Sorry, the Bruins just won in a shootout.
They did. They did.
Yo yo.
Hello.
Yo yo. Hold on. We're waiting for a special guest.
Okay. I promise I'm not a cat.
I showed that video to Ashley. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
dying.
that was absolutely hilarious.
I think you have a filter on there. I've got my assistant here, and she's trying to
I
work. And
wouldn't-
we don't know how.
But I wouldn't have.
But
I
I
would
promise
not
I'm not a
pass
cat.
Yo-Yo to show up with a cat's face, being like meow 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 meow.
Oh, that would have been great. I mean, you have plenty
man.
of cats to wave in front of the camera.
True. I actually have one right next to me.
Like he just pops
Oh,
up and like
Marshy.
the cat's wearing his hoodie and everything.
If
Got
I
the
wasn't,
glasses on.
if I
I don't
wasn't
know
in
what
my
I did, guys.
apartment, I'd have 3 cats surrounding me right now. My girlfriend's cats. So
Yo-Yo,
Right now.
did you buy Doge?
Yes. Just a little bit. Not a lot.
Yeah.
What's a little bit?
It's like 100 coins. Nothing too big.
Oh.
Yeah. I was skeptical, but I mean, it has gone up, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 7.73 cents right now, I think.
Ooh,
That's not much.
almost 8 cents. Like
It was at 8 cents for like a couple hours, and then it went
Yeah.
back down.
It was up to like 10 cents last weekend.
Yeah, it got way up there like over the weekend, and then it tanked. Oh, Angel's got some. Yeah, I've got 1,175 shares.
Yeah.
Aw.
Elon Musk is tweeting about Doge now, and every time he tweets, it like hops up in price.
We're gonna send Doge to Mars.
Patsy, did you see the other news that broke this evening?
Which news?
Benintendi?
No, did he get traded?
Yeah,
Where did he go?
Kansas City.
Oh yeah. Oh, there it is right now. Oh well, they got to make sure that they.
Re-signed JBJ.
Well, also they have to make sure that there's no unintended consequences.
I'm surprised they didn't sign the streaker in the Super Bowl. That streaker got more runs than the Chiefs did.
That's what Gronkowski said. Gronkowski said that the Chiefs should sign him because he was able to score. Did you hear about like the backstory to that though? Where like
He
the
was
guy
a failed
put up,
YouTuber or something like that.
no, he put up a $50,000 prop bet that there would be a streaker in the Super Bowl, and like did it himself. So he made $375,000.
Oh, he posted his bail.
Wait, there was a streaker on the Super Bowl?
Well, he wasn't really a streaker. He was wearing like
Pink
the
font.
A onesie.
yeah, like the Borat, like one
Oh.
piece, the V
Unitard.
bikini.
And it was I heard about that. Like there was some stupid prop bet and he bet against himself and won.
Yeah, like no legit. Like I was watching the Pat McAfee show. He was talking about that. He goes, no legit sports book would actually take that bet. So like I don't know how legit that is. It's like I want to bet $50,000 that there will be a streaker at the Super Bowl. Okay, here you go. Awesome. I'm leaving to go to the Super Bowl. Hey, wait a minute.
Hold these pants for a
Who are
little bit.
you?
Oh, I've been had.
Why I oughta
Oh, shake harder, boy.
cue the Benny Hill theme and go.
Jesus Christ.
This works for me. I'm trying to get fired.
Okay, we won't spend too much time on it because I know.
Thank you.
Why do I suddenly want a Happy Meal?
How do you guys
I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
Oh, how are people going to know I'm damaged without damage tattooed across my forehead?
At least they
I
got
know.
rid of the fucking tattoos.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the one thing I'll give Zack Snyder. That's the one thing I'll give him. I won't talk trash about this, but this
But
I'll
he
give
will
him
be
credit
moving
for.
in slow motion the whole time he's on camera. just
That's
saying.
why it's 4 hours. It's really only 22 minutes of footage.
Also, by the way, before we get farther than this, Lucasfilms has fired Gina Carano.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Wow.
Well,
Oh,
it's like what's her name's getting killed. Cara Dune's getting killed off screen.
Yeah, what did she do now? I just saw she was in the news for.
She is mocking trans people, saying that her preferred pronouns are like beep, boop, bop, or some shit.
Well, no, it was something about Jews or something like that today.
Oh, well, there's that too.
Yeah, that
People are just stupid.
Oh, that's to Disney. That's like a gun to the head for them. So,
Leo, thanks for showing us your email.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, I got another
anyway.
message from 976 Hot Psychic Mortgage.
Okay.
Oh, bye, Leo.
Nope.
wow, and the stream's still going.
I mean,
I don't think he meant to do that. It's like, oh, you made fun of my email. I'm gone.
I hit stop sharing and it booted me out.
Are you sure you just need to put like leave chat? No, I mean for that, I'm curious to see how the character is going to be. It looks like it's more of like just kind of filling in the blanks. Because Suicide Squad took place between BVS and Justice League, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see like. So he's in Arkham. So does that mean like what does that exactly mean? I mean, it's a 4-hour movie, so hopefully I get a little bit more backstory. But it's curious: was that part of the reshoots, or was that originally shot? Like this is the question that I think you're going to have that you might not be able to answer. Is what is new footage because they did a weekend of reshoots?
I will tell you, it's new footage. I will tell you because looking at his look, and I just saw the little things, which is like part of that HBO Max Warner Brothers thing where they released the movie on the same day because of theaters.
Yeah, same here.
It just looks just like Jared Leto's in it, and he has long hair, and that his Joker character has long hair. So putting 2 and 2 together, it's new footage. I'll put money on it. I'm already subjecting myself to the 4-hour torture. So
It's not gonna be torture.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of that. I'm so looking forward to it.
his 4-hour torture or the movie?
The movie. I mean, the fact that it's going to torture him, that's just like icing on the cake.
Leave you.
I've already said.
Listen,
that
Soup, you settle down.
Yeah, you calm down, Soup. No, I really think we need to do a watch party and watch it with, and just have a camera on Steven while he watches it the first time and just see him squirm and see if we can raise some money off of it.
He's going to be sitting there. He's just going to be pounding like, tequila shots the whole time. Oh, this isn't doing it. And it'll just
watch anger and frustration just be made.
For every $10 donated, Steven needs to rewatch it again.
$10. That's a little harsh. 4 out, $2.50 an hour. That's way below minimum wage. Every $7.50 an hour.
I'll put the proceeds to the network. Why don't we? For all the Comic-Cons that we missed, why the hell not?
No, you know what you need to do, Steven? Live tweet that shit.
No, he just needs to have a website of just him watching it, being like Steven pissed off JusticeLeague.com or something
Live
like that.
a live
Just him
StreamYard
up there,
stream.
Yep.
Yeah, just goddamn son of a bitch. What the goddamn? And then it's like
I prefer live tweeting. I prefer that.
nah, because like I said, I was on Twitter. I want to see your facial reactions because there's still a little bit of a filter. I want to see the unfiltered, like God, why? It's like God damn it! Like I want to see that aspect of you watching it because I think that would be hilarious.
Guys are overreacting. I'm not going to be like that angry about
You know
it.
what I'm really
we're
hoping?
underreacting and
Steven,
we're
you
gonna
got
hear
mad.
you scream.
Steven, you got really angry when they announced they were doing the Snyder cut.
Yeah, I did.
He was like,
Listen,
"Oh
enter
yeah."
the Snyderverse, okay?
I'm
Like-
sharing it with you guys with a watch party. So
I would love to do a watch party. Everybody, I don't know how to do it, but everybody gets on and we all watch it at the same time, and everyone just record it.
yeah.
Well, I think it's one of those things we just have to be like and play all at the same time.
Yep.
So make sure it's on Plex for all of us to watch.
There we go. Oh,
I have
and
Hobo
Crash the
Plex-
server.
Plex has a watch party feature.
Ooh,
No, I'll just watch it on HBO Max because I
Yeah.
have it.
I think they have a watch party feature
Oh, there we go.
because I saw something on there There was like
Ooh.
the little things. They had like the play button, then they had the save to favorites thing, and then they had a little thing icon for watch party, I believe. But
That's fun and exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
we have a few weeks to figure it out.
Yeah.
So
So
much fun.
Yeah,
So,
then 2 weeks
have
after
4
that,
weeks to be
Godzilla
exact.
versus Kong
yes.
will be.
Put it
It'll
in your
depend on
pants.
how I feel about that one.
Put
Well-
your Godzilla back in its pants.
If you, yeah, if only that was the nickname that that I had for that. So,
Oh my god.
if you tune in to Throwdown Thursday tomorrow, you'll get to hear me and Leo and Ashes and Chris Nigro and Jess Snyder and Colleen. We're all talking about that. That's what we have. We have a 2.5 hour. Oh, and Powerful Brandon. I knew I was going to forget somebody. If I did it off the top of my head, I should have written it down.
Did you just make fun of Leo the whole time?
No, Leo. Why would we make fun of Leo when all he says was everything is it's all aliens? That's nothing to make fun of about that.
Like all of a sudden he has like that hair. Look at that.
But yeah, we go for 2.5 hours of just Godzilla speculation, and it's the most glorious thing. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. That drops, and we have the YouTube video. So we have both. We have video and audio, and the video also has audio too. So so there's that.
It's not a piano track with like little title cards with like
Yeah,
here
it's
comes the
it's a Buster Keaton movie.
Actually, what you need to do is you need to play the YouTube video without audio and then play the podcast at the same time. And
Yeah,
hopefully
double up the numbers.
Yeah, hopefully you hit play at the same time on both of them.
Like, share, and subscribe. Throw it on ThursdayPodcast.com.
There we go.
Who are you?
It was a blast doing that. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I was like, oh, Leo wants to talk about this. Leo, you want to talk about this? You're like, I only got like 12 minutes to talk though, and you were on for like 2.5 hours.
But yeah,
The time is different than ours. It's okay.
I have to buy Baby Yoda coin.
yeah,
I will say though, Leo, I know we give you a lot of shit about Reddit and stuff, but did you see the Reddit like 3-second Super Bowl ad?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was up for like 3 seconds. They're like, yeah, we took some of our profit from all the shit that we've been doing and did a Super Bowl ad. Like there are screenshots of it, but it was up there for seriously. Like you were like, wait, is that Red? Oh, it's a new commercial. Like it almost seemed like it was a mistake. Like someone had pirated the signal for a second and immediately got overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, they threw up the like, oh, if you're reading this, then it worked. Like we did this, and it's like,
This is our entire advertising budget.
yes, the entire advertising budget. We bought 12/10 of a second on the Super Bowl. Oh, we had an ad that played during the Super Bowl, not on the same channel, but still.
Speaking of Super Bowl ads, even though there was a lack of, there was more commercials for food and cars and all that stuff. There was the only, besides a Fast and Furious trailer, which, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, there was another thing they talked about. I don't know. Did you hear that little show called The Equalizer? I mean, I only saw a trailer every 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And Clarice.
I want to see Clarice. That's on the
Yes, that's
must-watch
tomorrow.
list.
That's tomorrow.
I did see Equalizer with my girlfriend, and it was really good.
Yeah. Me and Megan watched it as well. It wasn't that bad.
I was on a show directly after the Super Bowl. My buddies Miles and Richie from the Best Darn Diddley, they do Mr. Most Days Off Loves Everything, and we did it right after the Super Bowl. We went live, and we talked about how that 3D Doritos commercial was probably not the first time that Matthew McConaughey has gotten trapped inside a vending machine.
Or thought he was flat.
It looked so weird. I didn't like that commercial.
Not at
Very
all.
unsettling. There was a shocking lack of big movie trailers. I think we saw that weird one for M. Night Shyamalan, and
Shyamalan.
the
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
I was waiting for, like James said, Ghostbusters. I was waiting for another Godzilla versus Kong spot where he smacks Kong with the twisted T. I was waiting for.
I figured like Black Widow was going to drop.
Yeah, I was going to say Black Widow is another one. Any of the Marvel stuff that's coming out, like Shang-Chi and like all these huge Marvel films that are supposed to be coming out later this year that we didn't get last year. So we're getting 35 Marvel films and TV shows this year. Maybe Book of Boba Fett, something like that.
If you're putting the math together, the way they said that Falcon Winter Soldier, it's coming out the same day as Justice League. If you're doing the math and all the WandaVision episodes, literally Falcon Winter Soldier is going to come out I believe the week after the season finale of WandaVision.
We've got you every Friday from now until forever.
And supposedly all these shows at Marvel are one-offs. They're not. It's going to be. They're not going to be there's going to be no sequels to some of this stuff.
Yeah.
What if it's supposed to be coming out too?
What is?
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah. Well, that's going to be interesting because when they say like almost everybody came back to do their voices, they won't say who didn't come back. I have a feeling it's RDJ, but who knows?
My guess would be well, no, I was going to say the lady who played Peggy Carter, but maybe Michael Pena didn't come back. Maybe the other dude, what's his name? The guy that played the Russian dude that was in with that little group in Ant-Man. Who is?
I just watched Ant-Man and Wasp the other day. It's
David something or other. The same.
I would like to see Michael Pena do one, just as like him narrating like he usually does.
Like at the end of so like 5 years ago this happened. I would like to see that. Yeah, I'm right with you.
I have no nonsense. Look at my haircut. I'm going through some stuff right now, but man, I want to kiss you.
Real quick, I don't know if it was true or not, but I saw something Black Widow 3 months from now.
Yeah, it's supposedly supposed to come out in May.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the meme that keeps going around? Like, Black Widow drops in 3 months. Black Widow dropped 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yo, go back in the chat. I put it in there today.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well done.
But anyway, what did you guys think of that trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Looks interesting.
It's good. I know it's only 6 episodes, so it's going to be a very fast-moving series. I like the dynamic that they have between Bucky and Sam, but I also like the ambiguity of who has the shield, because you see him with the shield training with it, but then you also see it like in a museum too. So like, did the government like confiscate it? Like, what exactly is going on? And it seems like there's like another. I know they basically, spoilers or whatever, is that all this is leading up to the Thunder Rosses, because that's what tees up at the end of Black Widow. It tees up that whole thing, and this ties into Black Widow.
Thunder Rosses.
That's why they didn't want to release this or whatever. Like Red Hulk, Taskmaster.
Thunderbolt. Well, yeah, Thunderbolt Ross is the guy's.
Yes. Yeah, the Thunderbolt is the name of that.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I thought you meant, and I was confused, like Yo-Yo, but I don't know enough to like be all condescending and yell at you like
that's my job.
I mean, yeah, Yo-Yo,
Buster.
Yeah, Yo-Yo's quiet. Hasn't been on the show in 2 months.
I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the show in a couple of weeks. He's like, "Damn it, James, what did I tell you?" And then he's all quiet again, like petting his cat, like, "I will wait in silence now." But like they're setting up, but like Kevin Feige said, is they're going to have multiple story arcs going at the same time. That they're not going to do this overarching Infinity Saga type stories anymore. So you're going to have this Thunderbolts story arc going. You have this WandaVision multiverse arc going. That's going to be a couple different things. I feel like Loki's going to pull into something as well. Who knows? So like it's kind of just interesting what they're doing. But Baron Zemo is back, and he's actually like kind of rocking a little bit more of the accurate costume,
classic look. Yeah.
But the cool thing is, and again, this is just me reading deep takes, is where they're one of the locations that they go to is a very popular X-Men mutant location.
Yes.
And so again, it's one of these questions I talk to Jen about all the time. It was like, how much do they actually sit down and plan this out? Like, because you've seen the clip of going around with Elizabeth Olsen doing the Age of Ultron press being like, I would love to do House of M, like, but they would never do it because it's too dark of a story. But like, that's awesome. Like, and it's like, did they know then that that's what they wanted to do? Or is it something that like recently they were like, well, Disney has all this money and we just made them $4 billion in 2 movies. So let's start doing these short things and take a risk on it. Like, I'm always curious about that stuff.
Well, do you think that this WandaVision thing will translate into, the splintering of realities that necessitates both the Spider-Verse and then the Doctor Strange multiverse of madness?
We already know.
In Doctor Strange.
Listen, I don't know that. That's why I'm asking, Steven.
Well, so if you watch Doctor Strange, the Ancient One says we pull our energy from other dimensions and other universes. Yeah. So like right then and there, you're already broken in the world of the multiverse theory. I think watching the episode, which I feel like we're going to go talking now, which is a great transition to it, is when she supercharges that force field again, is when it rips the multiverse. And that is what brings on that big reveal.
We also saw that that little city, Kang's city in the quantum realm. I forget what it's called, like Tiny Town or the Teenyverse or something. Smallville, I think, was the name of it.
Yeah.
That seems right.
Little Tokyo.
So before we go into we can talk about WandaVision now. So there's a new, not really new, but I just got turned on to this person today. Suki is mine 84 on Reddit. And
that sounds like a possible great source of information.
Well, they're turning Leo on, so I'm curious to see what happens.
Spoilers right now, Leo. I'm going to leave the chat.
Yeah, I'm not. It hasn't been a week for James, so
don't even start, because I went off on the group and it was unintentional because Steve set me off and it was not his fault. And again, I thank you, Steve. I apologize, but I'm tired of this shit. And if we want to talk about this crap, we're going to make another chat dialogue for it, because I don't watch the show at 3 a.m. I do not go on Reddit.
Oh yeah.
Please let us enjoy the show when it comes out.
Well, they don't, this person.
It's not necessarily a spoiler, but like Sam Jackson shows up with Iron Man and there's this huge battle, but like, I mean, who didn't see that coming? Batman comes in, but it's Adam West.
Well, I won't say anything, but if you want to know, I looked back at their previous messages and they're spot on for some stuff. So they said,
do you like getting ruined? Do you like ruining like your happiness? like why can't
I don't
you
have
just
time to watch these shows. Ruin everything for me.
They're vague enough, but they do give some little.
I went out of my way to find the 2 episodes that were leaked out, but I found out the mouse got it. Like who?
They're very vague.
Come on.
A tall
big enough for Mickey Mouse to censor it. Come on.
Yeah, very vague.
A tall shield agent with an eye patch, just being vague.
Okay.
A man who wears a metal suit whose name rhymes with Bony Shark.
I would watch that movie if the guy name was Bony Shark.
Tony Stank. Oh, good.
Okay, I won't say anything they said. So
just saying it rhymes with Rinredible Bulk. Okay? That guy shows up in Smallville. Hashtag spoilers.
Oh my God.
Okay,
it's vague though. Like this huge green guy. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to give it away. But this huge raging green monster.
And this guy, say he's like a colonel, but he's not a colonel, and he might be like for a country that's possibly in the Americas, but it could be Europe, but most likely in the Americas.
We'll
shows up with this
Sergeant Rage. Yeah.
Okay, so Yo-Yo, you haven't been on in a while. And have you been watching WandaVision?
I have not completely caught up with it, so please don't spoil everything for me.
Oh, too late. James,
Well-
you ruined it for Yo-Yo.
Son of a bitch. I turned into the thing I hated the most.
I had no idea Wanda was in this.
What are you talking about? Visions there? I'm distraught now.
Oh,
So
No,
my big
no.
takeaway in it, my big takeaway is what happened in episode 5. I think is a red herring for the rest of the last 4.
Yes.
So I think we'll get more in the next episode or 2. But I think the big, Elizabeth Olsen said there's this big moment in the show. I think it's completely like false flag. I think it's complete. They're setting us up for something bigger in the last couple episodes.
But what makes you think it's a false flag?
Reddit.
No, not Reddit. I just it's because the person involved in this was rumored for a long time to be in this show.
Oh,
Like-
you're talking about what just happened?
Yeah.
Okay, no, just say it because
No, like I
This
said,
is
again,
I've decided
Nope,
that
I'm
this is
done.
even worse.
Okay.
no,
No. Well,
That person that was in it. Oh yes.
I know. Well, you got to watch the episode because it happens at the end.
Okay.
but that's what I mean. Like that was rumored for a while.
Just talk
And-
about it. It's okay. It's not going to
That,
ruin
that scene where she's looking
Oh,
over and she sees the guy come up out of the sewer and he's like, "Radical pizza time!" Like, and then they.
I mean, then all of a sudden this person called Boar shows up. Yes, Boar.
I am the god of love and thunder. Listen to my mighty Australian accent as I live in Norway.
so do you want us to say it, Yo-Yo?
Yeah, feel free because
Okay. So
Whoa! What about people watching?
they should have seen it already.
Too late.
Well,
It's been a week.
So let's
give
just.
a spoiler alert.
There is a spoiler warning for episode 5 of WandaVision. That's a major plot point that's about to happen because Leo insists we do it, and Yo-Yo doesn't want anyone to have fun.
It's a major.
I don't think
It's a major item.
For now.
I just want to know why James is so adamant that it's not. So that's what I have to know now.
Okay, so spoiler warning. We're about to do it. 3, 2, 1. James, who is it?
So it's Quicksilver comes back,
But
but it's the Quicksilver from the X-Men universe.
Evan Peters, Quicksilver.
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Well, like I said,
That's what he says in the movie.
So for me, it was
Right before he gets shot 65 times.
So for me, it was announced that he was either going to be, because at the end when she has the kids, that it was rumored that he would actually be the grown-up version of one of the boys, because in this episode they age pretty quickly because they can age themselves. That he was going to show up and be Billy or Tommy, whoever's the speedster of the two boys. He was going to be that person. And so when he showed up in the episode and I looked at Jen and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I just felt like that's not that Elizabeth Olsen, Luke Skywalker type moment, because that's what she compared it to. And again, it was kind of like, okay, like something's off here. Like I feel like something else, there's another shoe to drop. And I feel like that's going to be the bigger of the two reveals.
I
what
just
do you
thought it
think
was great when the Dragon
was
Zord showed up.
What's that, Yo-Yo?
My thing and my again, this is just my own opinion. I think it's it's a 2-part thing. I think it's going to be, Doctor Strange is going to show up at like one of the last 2 episodes and actually have like a prominent part to kickstart his, connected to that movie. I think it's going to be Magneto.
Who?
Fassbender.
No, I think you're going to get a brand new Magneto.
Yeah, so like,
And they're not-
who do you
and
think
they're
it'll
not
be?
gonna call it.
How do you think they're going to plan to shoehorn
But it's not gonna. They're not gonna say Magneto by name. It's gonna be the name. He's going to introduce himself as
Agnes.
no, as
Eric Lenscher.
Eric Lenscher. And he's gonna
be like,
show up.
that's a dumb name.
But I really think that's that moment, because you got to think, what is a character which connects Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch that hasn't been mentioned in the MCU yet, and I think that's going to be one of the bigger keys to that, is that it's going to be Magneto, but it's going to be not a Magneto we've seen. It's going to be someone who's just been recently cast, and it's been one of those secrets that they've been holding on to.
I would like to see like Wolverine show up and like, oh no, there's someone causing trouble downtown. Who is it? Oh, it's a huge jacked man. Like, that would be awesome. But like, I want a 5'3" Wolverine. That's what I want. Like, no more of this 6'5" Wolverine stuff. Let's get comics accurate. Let's get a 5'3" person to play him, and they have to be Canadian.
100%. But like, for me, it's just it doesn't feel, that reveal wasn't as jarring as I think, and that's why I feel like there's another shoe to drop somewhere.
I was pretty jarred when, like, I'm like, is this how they're introducing mutants? It's like, hey, what's for dinner?
And that's what I mean. Like I said, it just, she supercharged that energy field so much that somehow she pulled, Evan Peters in this reality. What can't say that she pulled in Magneto from somebody else, because that's technically.
But why wouldn't it be Why wouldn't it be Fassbender then?
I don't know.
I honestly think if you're going to do something, it should be Fassbender.
Oh, you think? Oh yeah, Disney has a problem with money. Yeah. I keep forgetting how strapped they are.
But
we're
again,
introducing 40 shows and 60 movies this year.
Well, I mean, if you work at one of their parks, they don't have the money, but
yeah.
So, but for, like I said, I just feel like you introducing somebody new, you can then make your own X-Men with a kind of a cleanish break from what's already been done.
Are these Avengers? No, more mutants.
So I posted something in the comments, and what I'm going to say is not from what I read on Reddit, but I posted this in our chat earlier in the week, and I've actually had a little change of thought, and this is similar to what you're saying, James. So I think bringing him in is going to be like a split in the multiverse. He's going to be actually from the Fox universe. I think the big, like, and some people said she didn't really say this, a big Luke Skywalker-ish, person at the end, but she said something similar. I think originally I thought it was going to be Patrick Stewart, but now that I think of it, I think it's going to be Ewan McGregor
as Obi-Wan.
As well, because he's already talking to them about the Obi-Wan show. What if he was in talks about that, and they said, hey, we're also doing WandaVision. Why didn't you come back as Professor X for, a one shot? So I think it's going to be Professor X saying,
come back as Professor X.
Never was.
Yeah. No.
You mean James McAvoy?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
James McAvoy?
He was in Richard.
I thought it was Ewan McGregor that
Ewan
played.
McGregor was Black Mask.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Obi-Wan. He was.
What? I could have sworn it was Ewan McGregor.
No, it's James McAvoy. It always has been.
Was in which column?
First Class.
First Class.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
God.
Hey.
His friend. See, that's why you don't believe. What was her name?
Movie.
What was her name? Kickflip 69 or whatever. Like.
69.
It's gonna bug the shit on me that I'm blocking out the name of the movie.
Holy shit! It is James McAvoy.
Split?
No, that Ewan McGregor was in the Marvel movie.
The Marvel movie he was in?
Yes.
No, he was in Birds of Prey.
Yeah, he was Black Mask in Birds of Prey. I don't recall him being in Marvel. I mean, I might be wrong.
Okay, so anyway, I think it's
Moulin Rouge. That's what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so my theory is a little broken, but I still think it's going to be Professor X at the end, and he's going to mention that they are related, but it's a different universe, and they have a father. So
I mean,
Then
That's
it's
not a revelation.
well.
You have a dad. Oh my God. Oh, wait, that kind of makes sense. Oh, next you're going to tell me I've got a mom too.
I have another theory too. I mean, it's just something like not a theory, but it's just something like to think about. In Age of Ultron,
Sorry, I confused him with Jude Law.
in Age of Ultron, when they
All
revealed,
British people look the same.
Yeah.
In my defense.
in Age of Ultron, when they revealed Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, the guy said, "Age of Miracles." And after that, Kevin Feige said that if mutants ever came to the MCU, they would be called mutants. They'd be called miracles. So
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Fantastic.
I just remember. I don't think they'll call mutants by name.
Well, I think
Mutants. I think they'll call them miracles.
they
I
probably
don't like that name.
Yeah, neither do I think they said that because of the whole Fox thing, but since Disney now owns everything, I think we're going to get actual mutants.
I do hope that like people use their comic book names. Like, you know, she's not called Scarlet Witch in this, but it's like, hey, you're a super humble guy. What's your name? Oh, I'm Mr. Fantastic. Oh, okay. I'm awesome.
Well, that was the whole thing in that episode. Which again, you know, when they're talking about her, like, isn't she known by other names? And he's
Doesn't
like,
she have a stupid name, like one of those goofy names? Like,
and
nope.
he's like, no.
Nope. Definitely not called Scarlet Witch. That's definitely not what we call her.
Well,
Nobody calls her that. If you think that somebody calls her that, you're stupid.
It's also interesting too. Like they've literally taken a loaf of bread and throw it on the ground, being like Fantastic Four. Like in the last like 2 episodes they've had. They're like, I know an aerospace engineer. Wink, nod.
He's pretty fantastic. Ooh, I think a storm is coming. Know what would be great? Know what I would fucking love?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans strolling in as Johnny Storm. Or Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan strolling in as Johnny Storm.
You know, I just watched that for the first time the other day.
It's not very good.
Nope.
It wasn't.
What happens when you have a director who literally does not like the genre he's directing?
Well, here's the biggest issue that I have, and if you watch Screen Rant's pitch meetings, the one that they did for this was great. They're like, oh, so Victor Von Doom. Oh, Victor Von Doom turned out to be a bad guy? Like yeah, he wanted to stay in this dimension, so they grabbed him and pulled him in. Well, why didn't they just leave him there? Well, now they're trying to banish him there. Well, how'd they beat him? They punched him. Oh, did that work? No. But then they all punched him together, and that worked. It's like all he wants to do is go back into this dimension. Like, no, you need to stay here. It's like, I'm super powerful, and I'm like exploding your face with my mind. Like, let me go back to this dimension where I want to be, and I won't bother anyone. No! It's like, what? Why? Somebody just posted that Gina Carano has been fired.
We already talked about that.
I know. Well, maybe they hadn't heard yet, and they just posted it.
Why aren't you listening from the show starts? Like, come on, what the hell are you doing?
Maybe
Facebook
they were
user number 4792.
I don't know who it is. I could probably look it up, but
this says Facebook user.
I know, but if you look in the comments on the Facebook group, Leo, use one of your 6 computers.
Do that. I haven't seen Sergio today. I'm kind of sad.
No, Sergio was there. He popped in earlier and said, maybe you should pay attention from the beginning of the show, James.
He did. Miss it, LOL. Yeah, you miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah, that checks out. Math works.
Yes.
So the
that was Paul Giovannucci.
That guy? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
no, you definitely know him. He's we see him at all the cons, and yeah, he's a good guy. And Jonathan Moody, I love Larry. Had him on oh, that was earlier. Okay,
that was way earlier. So back to what Steven wanted to talk about, the Joker.
Snyder Cut.
So
more Snyder Cut.
So I think that if it turns out, we should have a wager that if it turns out that Steven ends up enjoying this movie, he has to grow his hair out long like Jared Leto's Joker.
No.
And if you don't like it, you have to get damage tattooed across your forehead.
No.
What about a smiley face on the back of your hand?
I don't do tattoos.
Oh,
I don't like needles.
How about this? If you end up liking it, you then need to watch the entire DCEU from start to finish.
And we need a detailed report on each
Yep.
one. If he could shoot lasers out of his eyes right now, he totally would.
He's like, if I focus just hard enough, right in the center of their forehead, I can get these faster.
One of us has an aneurysm. It's like, oh, sorry. My bad, guys. We didn't mean to. What else we got going on?
I'm not committing to that.
Well, I want to show you guys Launchbox. Was there anything else you wanted to say about WandaVision?
Launchbox is where I put my lunch.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, stop. Fuck.
Resident Alien, we wanted to mention. Thanks.
Go watch it. It's fantastic. Alan Tudyk's a gem and a treasure.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk is the best.
Was there an episode this week?
Well, Sci-Fi dropped all 3 episodes like last week.
Oh.
So I watched all 3, like
Yeah.
the 2 episodes they did drop, which are fantastic. So there's a new episode this week, and then there'll be a new episode online next week.
Okay, because I was looking online and I only found the first 3.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay, cool.
Well, I know Clarice drops tomorrow on CBS All Access. The day after that, the next HBO Max Warner Brothers merger movie to come out is Judas and the Black Messiah.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
I am not familiar with that one yet. I'll have to check it out.
So for Clarice, does that take place after Silence of the Lambs?
Yes.
Yes, and I was when I saw the trailers during the Super Bowl, my girlfriend had to explain it to me that it was taking place after, because during Silence, I watched Silence of the Lambs before. We've all seen it, and
Awesome movie.
Yeah, and I got confused with her dialogue in there, and then my girlfriend just explained the whole thing to me because she used to go to school for forensic science and all that stuff.
Yeah, it takes place like right afterwards too. It looks like.
It's in between this and Hannibal.
Yeah,
like the movie Hannibal, not the TV show.
TV show's equally as good.
I would love to see Mads Mikkelsen show up.
Oh, it wasn't Ewan McGregor that played in that?
Yeah, it was Ewan McGregor was Hannibal.
And then Jude Law showed up, and
Jude Law was Clarice.
He was Buffalo Bill. He came back from the dead. He's like, "Would you fuck me?" I'd fuck me. No, sorry, it'll be Jason Mewes who does that. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna take a photo of both of them. They look the same.
Why? Why? Because they're both British. Like, what does that have to do?
That's
with
what I said earlier. All British people look the same.
Benedict Cumberbatch,
Harry Potter, and Queen Elizabeth, same guy. Like
100%.
They look exactly the same.
Sound, not look. Sound.
No, they look exactly the same. They both have glasses.
And Kate Middleton
and Noel Fielding, exact same guy.
Exact same hairstylist. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, realistically, they needed just a Tilda Swinton who is just everybody. So
yes, Tilda Swinton could play Batman.
I would pay to see that movie.
Have you ever seen Only Lovers Left Alive?
No.
Oh, you need to. It's her and Tom Hiddleston and their vampires with Mia Wasikowska and Anton Yelchin. Like Anton Yelchin is his familiar.
Leo, that better be in Plex.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm waiting for Leo to put the 76 Kong in Plex. He's put every Godzilla movie in there, but not 76 Kong.
You gotta get all the Kongs, like Mecha Kong, King Kong Escapes.
You put King Kong Lives in there, I think.
Oh, the one with Linda Hamilton that takes place after, like it's the
After
direct
76, but not 76. What the fuck?
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
the direct sequel to the 33 film.
Yeah.
Although I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know if they reference the towers or the Empire State Building. It's been a while, but I remember Linda Hamilton is like, oh, we just happen to have another gigantic ape. Isn't that and it's a girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
isn't
give
that
him
convenient?
They give him an artificial heart after being riddled with bullets, after falling off the Twin Towers. It's just...
I just remember the cover art for that movie is like him with they made him way bigger on the cover art because he's got 1 foot on each tower. He's like crushing a zeppelin with one hand. It's amazing.
The movie is awesome.
I love it. Jeff Bridges,
Bridges with a beard before he was the dude. I mean,
oh yeah, like way before, like 20 years before. This was even before. This is like a decade before Starman.
Yeah, but he can still rock a beard whether he's young or old.
And Jessica Lange,
first role, yeah.
She's like, oh, don't tell me you're an Aries. I could tell by your ears. It's like he's an ape. Oh yeah, I loved all those movies. So what do you guys think? Who wins, Godzilla or Kong?
I think you win, Pats.
Well, whoever wins, we loot. No, that's Alien versus Predator.
Me and Leo speculated this because we talked about it when you guys weren't on. It was just me and him, and we talked about this. It's gonna go the Batman versus Superman route.
That's what we said on our show.
That's what's going to happen is they're going to beat the piss out of each other for the last 20 minutes, and then they're going to team up and fight that Mecha Godzilla thing.
Or Mecha Ghidorah.
Mecha Ghidorah, yeah.
I think either one of those could show up.
But who's going to say Martha?
No, it's Mothra.
Mothra.
You have to save Mothra. Why did you say that name?
I do know my DCEU.
Oh, he's got a mom. He can't be a bad guy. You notice how that's one of the worst plot points of that entire film. And there's a lot where it's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you because you're a super dangerous alien. Oh wait, you have a mom? Oh, I guess all's forgiven then.
Why didn't you lead with that?
Yeah, like, hey. Instead of saying, "Hey, Lex Luthor has my mom, and like I need your help. He wants us to fight, but we shouldn't fight. We should team up." Instead, he just goes, "Bruce, hey Bruce, I gotta tell you, Bruce." Like that's what he does. Batman's like, as long as you don't say Martha, I'm fine. It's like a weakness of mine, like kryptonite. Yeah, don't mind if I do. He shoots him with the kryptonite bullets. Breathe it in, die. Kind of, on that whole Batman thing. Have you guys noticed that ever since Will Arnett was Lego Batman, every voice he does is Lego Batman, even in the goddamn Reese's commercials that I hate so much?
No.
Who does?
Will Arnett. He did it in the Ninja Turtle movies. He did it in the Ninja Turtles movies. Ever since, like, that's his voice that he does all the time. It's like, yeah, this is my natural speaking voice. I'm regularly Batman. It's like, no, you're not. I've heard you speak before. You don't sound like that.
Maybe that's like the only other voice he knows how to make.
That'd be pretty sad.
I'm Batman.
You're not.
How do you know?
Fool me. Because you wouldn't say it.
I'm Batman.
Not outside of your costume.
I mean, we could also talk about the official title to the Sonic sequel came out today.
Oh, Sonic. I couldn't care less. Wait, no. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Sonic 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
It looks like the Sonic 2 logo for Sega Genesis, but kind of.
The Tale of Tales.
Yes.
Is that the name? What's the name of the movie, James?
Sonic 2.
Think they worked hard on that title?
That's what most researching and.
All right.
I do have to say,
So-
I have to say when they announced the title card to it, I thought it was like very interesting because they actually pulled the soundtrack from Sonic 2 as this title treatment. I was like, I'm okay with that. What are we looking at here?
Glenn, you better have something good for this Sonic sequel. Sonic 2. Promote that man.
What? You are so muted, Leah. We can't hear you.
Sorry, I was getting I was having audio issues. I was trying to share this, and I had to actually install another piece of software to get it where I can share
Well, I
it.
saw 1941, so I don't know if that's your birth certificate or like what we're looking at here.
Yeah, that is.
That's my snake kill count. I will never not bring up the snakes if I get the opportunity.
That's another good movie on Plex.
They called
1941.
What? Snakes?
They called me
1941.
Snakes. Don't call me Snake. Call
snakes.
me Pliskin.
I don't know no snakes. I could swear I
Okay,
heard that voice
Pliskin.
before.
Don't call me Pliskin. It's Snake.
If you're gonna say it, say Pliskin.
Pliskin. I watched Escape to New York the other day. It's
I
really
just
good.
watched that for the first time last year. I'd never seen it before. I watched both
really
of them back
good.
to back.
It kind of doesn't hold up, but the Escape from Los Angeles is ridiculous, so it kind of
Oh,
levels
yeah.
itself out.
Escape from LA, like when he does the hang gliding scene, it reminds me of, I don't know if any of you guys have seen Yours World. Anybody? No? It's like a Beastmaster type ripoff, and like there's a scene where he kills like a pterodactyl. It's called You're the Hunter from the Future, YOR. And like it takes place in the past, and it opens up with him saving a lady from being attacked by a triceratops. But at one point he kills like this weird pterodactyl looking thing and uses its corpse to hang glide across a chasm. Like it's phenomenal.
I was
Leo.
more concerned about the surfing of the tsunami, but you know we can do that.
Well, there's that too. Leo, you need to, if you can, look up right now and play the audio of the Yours World theme because it's so 80s. It's the most amazing thing you'll ever hear. And I think you guys would love it. They worked very hard on the lyrics.
What's it called?
Your, Y-O-R, the Hunter from the Future. The song is called Yours World. Y-O-R-S. I have the movie around here somewhere. But it's just...
Oh,
it's cool.
your why? Okay,
Y-O-R.
why? Okay.
And it's...
I like Close Encounter.
This is such an 80s movie.
And then we just lost all of our money for playing a copyrighted song.
No, Leo wrote this song.
Oh yeah.
1971.
I mean, he was born in 41, so
Yeah, he was already 30 at that point.
So is this something you want on Plex?
I mean, you guys need to see
It
it.
seems like a threat at this point.
It sounded like a threat.
Okay.
Like it's kind of nutty, but it's so much fun. It's such a fun. Like I said, he kills a pterodactyl and uses it to hang glide. Like it's ridiculous. It's like Beastmaster meets the Herculoids. James, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Okay. Well, we're going to wrap things up. I'm going to show you guys this one thing. I've been working on this for a while now.
Is it the railroad?
Yeah, it's the railroad. Hold it. What the fuck? Why is it? Let me get this.
Good to know.
Okay. So I've been working on Launchbox, trying to get this up and running. And I finally got it up and running. So this is a sort of like a controller for an emulator for RetroArch. And it is friggin' amazing. Once it has like all the box art for all the games. Once I get it fully configured, it'll have like video from the games, so it's like going to actually show the console, and you know, when you select a game, it'll give you information about it, like it has right here. And I have so far these systems installed: Atari 2600, TurboGrafx 16, Nintendo 64, regular Nintendo, Super Graphics, Sega Master System, Neo Geo I just got working, and Super Nintendo.
And how do you play it?
Just going to a game and double clicking on it.
Like you just use your keyboard as a controller?
No, I have a controller.
Well, that's what I was asking. Like, how do you... I keep forgetting you're a fancy millionaire.
No, I mean, it's like even if you have an Xbox controller, it'll work.
Oh, anything that's like USB?
Yep. The software is free. You just need to be able to find like ROMs.
Oh, that guy is just very irresponsible with his firearm.
But I have it's just amazing. I got a couple thousand games loaded right now.
Got like 600 petabytes of games. Got every game that's ever been made on every system because, you know, I'm running this off a Cray XMP supercomputer. Usually it's used for gene sequencing, but I got it to run my games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were some that I couldn't grab because the download file was larger than the hard drive I have on my Mac.
Like, what game could that possibly be? Oh, it was
No.
It's
It's like a whole set of games. So there's like so I download everything from my small Mac, and it has just a small SSD on it. And there's one download that was like 160 gig for a set. It was just insane.
Can't you like hook it up to one of your Cray XMPs and just download it that way?
Well, I'll have to get a like an external drive to hook up to it. Download to
like
that.
Another one? Like,
Yeah.
Don't you have a bunch?
I have a bunch, but they're all being used right now.
I tape them all together. It heats my house. It's like having a fireplace.
Once I get everything all set and configured, I'll show you guys again. But I'm just learning how to use it, and the actual interface is pretty kick-ass.
The interface is just in your face.
Yeah. It's I'll see if I can find something real quick that shows the interface.
The interface is in your face in inner space.
Martin Short.
Yep. I watched that with Ash recently. Damn. I never win. I'm in a James, you would have been mad at me early when I was yelling stop. I'm in a group and I was in a wheel spin for a PS5, but I did not win it because I don't.
Well, did you see the PlayStation Store got resupplied today?
No, I don't. I put $5 in and won a spot on the wheel, so I was going to be like, oh, I spent $5 and got a PS5 with an extra controller with Demon Souls and Miles Morales Spider-Man.
So there was a restock and I missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've given up on that.
I heard that they were having issues with the controllers.
Really?
Because that's something that you guys have heard. I heard it like the
Yeah,
sticks.
the UK is they're supposedly a class action can be filed in the UK for the drift. Their issue with like a drift situation. So we'll see. Like I said,
That's on Kaiser. I still remember the code for that. 007-373-5963 takes you right to, depending on which version, Tyson or Mr. Dream.
Yeah, no, like Sony released a statement. It was like they can't get there's something going, like they can't get the parts fast enough to make it because of COVID. Like the supply chains are kind of being disrupted.
So they just released an inferior product?
No, they're not releasing it. They just can't get enough to meet the demand of the systems. Like they just can't make them fast.
Like, are they getting any of their chips from Samsung? Because I know they've been having issues.
I don't know. They said it was like their conductors and like something else. Like Sony released a statement, like basically stating that they consider the launch a success because they sold 4.5 million units worldwide.
Yeah, all the like 3 guys.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, but at the end
they
of the day,
got theirs. That's the only thing they care about.
Yeah, that's all they care about. But they were saying that there's something like the conductors and some other materials that they need to make the system. They're just having trouble getting access because of supply chains. So it just they basically said until the supply chains get back to normal, it's going to be the demand is going to outweigh the supply for the foreseeable future.
I kind of feel like I want to dig in to see who's supplying them, because I know like that's been the issue with the 30 series RTX cards is Samsung.
Oh,
Samsung's been having issues like producing the yields that all the chip makers like NVIDIA, EVGA would need. So,
and they also confirmed
it was
that
AMD. I thought AMD was the key point.
Yeah.
It was like,
but
for the NVIDIA cards,
am I thinking of something else?
I know Sony.
I mean,
also
it's tough all around right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. And Sony said in the same statement too is that they're selling the system at a loss, which was which they knew was going to be.
I saw that part.
Yeah, but the problem is they've made up their money in the accessories and games that were sold. They've made up
That
some
inferior
of that ground.
controller.
Well, yeah, but if you notice though, a lot of the games have been going on sale, so I don't think they're selling too many games because scalpers still hold a majority of the systems.
If I'm Sony, I'm pushing back a lot of their AAA titles until there's more systems out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not getting the systems out there. It's getting them to people who can actually buy them.
Afford it.
Scalpers. Almost it's scalpel. Yeah. You don't want scalpers to get them either.
You got to have commerce back to a point where people will actually go to the stores and buy them, because none of the stores have them in stock right now. You have to like order them online.
Well, and that's the thing. Like people are going to stores everywhere. Like.
And asking constantly the same goddamn questions.
Yeah.
Hey,
like,
yo, you're gonna get PS5s tomorrow?
I just want to get a button so I can hit it. And
I walk around with a sign.
I know common sense. Obviously, number one, I don't have the money.
People walk in, still ignore it, and come up to us.
No, you have the sign. No, I know people. I used to, when I was working at Sprint, people would come in and see a sign that says the iPhone 4S, the best iPhone yet. And they would look at it and they would read it because I could see their slow, dullard mouths going, hey, is that as good as the iPhone? Where's the iPhones? It's right there. It's the only white phone in the store. Walk right by it. 6-foot sign that says iPhone. The only white phone there was. Yeah, I don't know where it is. It's literally right there. It's the only white phone. Like if you walk 4 feet to your right and stop, it's right there.
See, this is the gripe I have with people not reading signs, because let me explain with the PlayStations. Number one, I don't have the money for one. I can read a sign. So when I go to my Walmart and I see a sign that says we don't have PlayStations or Xboxes in our store, you can only get them online. I literally read the sign because, number one, I can't afford one. I get my shit and I get out. I know for a fact and I don't know if people still harass the store for one.
Well, it's because there's YouTube videos out there saying this is the secret of getting a PlayStation. You need to go to Walmart and ask for the manager.
And rate all the people who work there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you work at a donation center and your donation hours are from 10 to 2 and people do illegal dumping after hours, people don't read the signs. They're from 10 to 2 and they don't
see. I think that I don't think is not reading the sign. That's just I'm an asshole and I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna open up my trunk and hit the gas and everything's gonna fall out.
You know how many printers get left outside of my store? Like that was like a huge issue for like a while.
And then somebody calls, "Hey, did you get my printer? It was the gray one."
Like,
is it fixed yet?
We weren't taking recycling because that costs money, and
usually people that leave stuff outside our donation jar we throw out because we don't know how long it's been there. We don't know what the weather elements have gone to it, so usually throw it out.
I left my printer in a snowbank. Let me know when you got it fixed, okay?
The weirdest donation we got the other day. I know this is completely off topic, but a school teacher donated like 5 boxes of books, and they were all textbooks and stuff and dictionaries. But then he gave us like 2 small boxes, and we thought they were part of his, lectures and stuff. No, we should have read what was said on the box. Dissection kits and stuff.
Ew.
So it was, in high school when you do the, dissecting the frog.
Used ones or
one used dissection tray, used dissection tools, and the other box.
What kind of fucking idiot?
Free frog guts. Like, what are you complaining about?
No, the other one was in the box, a cow's heart and a cow's eye.
And you're like, great, just in time for lunch. I'm going to throw these on the Foreman grill. I mean, I don't know what you're complaining about. Valentine's Day is Sunday, Steven.
Hey, give her a heart. There you go.
You guys,
I only have eye for you. James is leaving.
Yeah,
bye, James.
You guys are sick.
Yeah, we should wrap things up. I know things are
because I don't have any human interaction and I will just continue to talk nonstop. So I will James, where do you like people following you?
I like people to follow me at on my personal accounts for the tweets and the Instagrams at Longtime Storm. But you can follow me at It's Go Time with James, where this past episode we had Patrick on as our guest host to talk about the superb owl and all the actions of that, as well as did an NHL minute. As we talked to the show, we talked about the Bruins today, Red Sox, but tomorrow I will be a guest host on the loudest sports show ever.
Yep.
So, Patrick, where can people find you?
Folks can find me. A good place is Throwdown Thursday podcast.com that has links to our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitter, has the latest show, has articles. You can find us on YouTube. Everything's under the Throwdown Thursday umbrella. So any Shark Bites episodes, some of my gaming clips, obviously the loudest sports show, which has undergone some changes recently, as well as our live shows. We're going to have we have Leo who guested with us with a bunch of other folks talking about some Godzilla versus Kong that's going to drop tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good place. So Yo-Yo, where do you like folks following you?
Boy Meets Phone on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and Yo Saint Laurent on those same social media channels. How about you, Steve?
You can follow Super Retro Throwback Reviews on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to our website, superretrothrowbackreviews.com. Our new episode, Glue Shampoo, episode 133, will be out Monday, the day after Valentine's Day. And you can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/superretropodcast. We have our first Patreon backer, So thank you to our Patreon backer. We have a $1 tier and a $3 tier. You can tell us what movie you want us to review on our podcast. What, James?
Well, you said one.
You said one
three.
and three.
And this is 5. I know my Roman numerals.
It's Pick on Steven night, isn't it? A
It's
$1
Pick on
tier
Everyone
and a $3 tier. Okay.
A $1 tier.
As much as that. All right. Just lost my train of thought.
You get 2 choices.
Our $1 tier and a $3 tier on our Patreon. You can tell us what movie you want us to review on our podcast. You can have bonus episodes. We even have a special exclusive mini episode for all our backers every week called The Rant. And this week, I'll tell you what our rant was. I complained about the lack of rock performances on the halftime show. So if you want to listen to that, become a Patreon backer. Leo?
So if I
Come on, Lee, you let it out.
I'm gonna become a Patreon backer, and each movie's see you.
What?
He's going to become a patron and force you to watch all the DCEU.
What?
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. This week, Man of Steel.
His brain is turned an illegal operation and will be shut down.
Welcome to episode 171 of the Super Retro Throwback Reviews, where we are reviewing Justice League and Suicide Squad for the 16th consecutive episode, thanks to our Patreon backer, Leo. And I just want to die.
It's like the Crush of the Clown episode from we've been on the air for 76 straight hours.
All because of one little boy who won't let me stop. 438 consecutive hours.
Keep an eye for that, Steven. It's gonna happen. Suicide Squad first.
And third and fifth.
No, you got to get Man of Steel in there. You got to get Batman versus Superman.
Today we are reviewing the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad again.
It's Groundhog Day again.
First, you have to do them in alphabetical order, then chronological order, then chronological alphabetical order.
Leo, where can people find you?
Pretty soon on Patreon.
Everybody needs to go to bed.
Yep.
Everybody.
Just head to Leo, just Google Leo Pond. More importantly, head on over to thedorkening.com, where you can find all the awesome shows on the network and follow these awesome people here. Thank you guys so much. It's made my night.
Contribute to Steven's Patreon. Make him watch DCEU movies.
Yep. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.